Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge and this is today's World Cup watch-along. It's Spain against Saudi Arabia. I hope you're all doing very, very well. Excited to be back amongst it in the World Cup watch-along scene with you people. And thank you very much for tuning in as always. How are we all doing? It's very hot in the UK today. And I tell you what, they need... Harmish says this is going to be another draw for Spain. They need to win, don't they? Yeah, they do. I'm trying to figure out what group they're in, even though it says it on my screen there. They're in Uruguay's group, aren't they? So everybody drew in the first game. So it's still there for everybody to grab the opportunity that is there in front of them today and get hold of it. The top place. Obviously, Uruguay playing Cape Verde later on. But it's Spain, Saudi Arabia in this 5 o'clock kickoff. Here in Atlanta Stadium. Well, not here in Atlanta. I'm not in Atlanta. I was nearly in hospital this afternoon. That's why I'm a little bit late. If I could show you the size of my toe, I would. It's absolutely massive. It may well be broken, but I'll tell you that story in a minute. I'll get through it. Don't worry. I've passed the fitness test. I'm not going to know A&E on a Sunday afternoon and being surrounded by prats who've done a bit of DIY and nailed their bloody knob to a piece of, I don't know what they've nailed to a piece of wood, but anyway, I'm not sitting in there with a load of people who are doing DIY idiot prat stupid accidents. Then again, I sort of did do a DIY prat accident. I was in the back garden and I said pass Seb, and he laid it up and it just was perfect to smash it in the bottom corner, and I went cane, and instead of cane it was pain as I went to kick it low and hit the grass first, and literally my big right toe went back. I did still hit the ball. That's the bad thing. I hit the grass first and then I hit the ball. Went flying in the top corner. I'm rolling around on the floor in pain. Seb comes along with my phone. It's ringing. I pick it up. I'm going, oh, who is it? I'm in pain. It's Manuel Neuer. What? I said, I've just seen that shot. I was driving past. What an absolute banger. I would not have saved that. And I said, Manuel, I'm in a lot of pain. Thanks for the praise, but I've got bigger things to worry about now. And I do. It's called a big toe. And if you look at the side of your big toe, which not a lot of you will be able to look at, but you know at the end of your toe, there's like where it connects with the rest of your foot. Yeah, there's like a massive big lump there. It's like I'm growing a sick toe out of there. I don't think that's good. But yeah, it was a great finish, but at what price? It doesn't look good, bro. It doesn't look good, toe. There we go. Dad jokes. Should put me on The Rest is Football. Anyway, how are we all doing? Hope we're all doing very well. We are sponsored by Boyle Sports today as well, so I'll be telling you what my bet builder is. I'm getting so close on my bet builders. I had bloody Gakpo to score yesterday, over 2.5 goals. Had so much going in my favour and it didn't bloody work. So yeah, a little bit okay. United stand is the floor okay. It was the grass. It was outside the grass. I mean, it just looks like a molehill now. But because you can imagine the power that was in the shot. But no, we live and learn. At least I don't have to worry about it being a career ender, because my career ended a long time ago. It might be the end of my... what's this? Oh, there's a start bench sell on TikTok. This is, if you're part of these watch-alongs, right, you are part of something very special that gets clipped up all over the place. It's like a barber's in here. There's so much clipping going on. So I've just gone onto TikTok there, and there's a clip that's had like 25,000 likes. You can imagine the views. It's not our channel. Whoever's the bloody producer today, it's not our channel. Someone's clipped us up, and it's the clip of the start bench sell that one of you did. You can almost tee it up for brilliance. You can come to this channel and tee it up for virality. That's sort of how good we are as a community and how big we are. So somebody asked the question: start bench sell, Burger King, Ledley King, or Martin Luther King. I can't remember what I did, but that's been clipped up and had loads and loads of likes on TikTok. So if you've got any of those sort of things, then you could be the originator of something viral. It's amazing what people find entertaining, isn't it? But there we go. I didn't sell Martin Luther King, no. I started him, definitely. After my mistake on the last one, I definitely made the right choice this time. Yeah, so, yeah, I think I sold Ledley King, I started Martin Luther King, and I benched Burger King. Yeah, I suppose it depends if you're hungry, though. You know, if you're hungry, you might bench, and I hate to say it. No, I'm not going to say it. It's not worth it. Okay, let's go. Let's have a look how that's working. Lovely stuff. Oh, God. I'm in so much pain. But you lot are going to relieve my pain, aren't you? Not relieve me, relieve my pain. Right, let's go. Players are on the pitch. I don't know why she's there. She's in red, they're in yellow. Brand ambassador for Coca-Cola, I would say. You couldn't be more wrong, Mark. You'll never guess it. Yeah, I don't want to start guessing it because I'll guess something really bad. Like, yeah, she's recovering from something, or yeah, and then it will be like somebody's wife or something. So I'm not gonna start guessing anything like that. Who's your top 6 fathers to go to the Emirates? Yeah, happy Father's Day to anybody today who is a father. And there will be some of you who are not celebrating Father's Day, but you are a father. I had that concern in my early 20s once. Thankfully, it wasn't the case. But you never know. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Right. We are sponsored by... Hold on. Let me just make sure I've got the team news here. Yes. Excitingly, Yamal is starting. So please share the video. Thank you. Nifo, I do read TikTok comments as well. Yes. Olmo is starting. Oyazabal, Rodri, Pedri. No, Nico Williams. He's not starting for Spain. He's on the bench with Zubimendi and a few other people. They're not the only 2 people on the bench. Saudi Arabia we will talk about in a moment. But we are sponsored by Ball Sports on the show today. We've been sponsored by Ball Sports on a few shows throughout this tournament. So thank you very much to them. Remember, links in the description or scan the QR code if you want to build your own bet builders. But let's get straight into it. We've actually got a 25% bet boost on top today. So if you get your own bet builder going on, you'll get a 25% bet boost on top of that. So basically you build a bet, your odds are there, and then you get a 25% odds boost on top. That's how it works with Ball Sports today. If you don't know what a bet builder is, it's things like there will be over 5 goals, there will be over 6 corners, there will be certain player will score a goal, certain person will get a yellow card. It's all part of your bet to boost your bet odds up. A bit like an accumulator, but one you build yourself out of things that you think are going to happen. So I've gone for today, Spain to win, Pedri to score at any time, over 3.5 goals, over 8.5 corners, and Rodri to be booked. Now, I've got to say, the booking one does help with boosting. However, we're up and running. There are not many bookings in this World Cup. And I think that's a good thing because the referees are letting things go. But I am going to go Rodri to get booked because he is that sort of player that pulls people back when they're running past him. So give it a go yourself. Don't forget you get a 25% bet boost on top of that. And also, we've got a little bit of a quiz question for you. We do a couple of questions when we're doing Ball Sports. So a question for half time. Who is Spain's all-time top goal scorer, having scored 59 goals in 98 international appearances? Let me know who you think that is. We'll talk about that at half time. Make sure you put your loyalty and patriotism aside and pick with clarity of thought when you're doing your bets. The World Cup Ball Sports are reminding you to bet with your head, not with your heart. Don't let your emotions muddy the waters. As always, it's 18 plus, UK and Ireland only. Please bet responsibly. Terms and conditions are in the description and via the QR code. So I'm going with Spain to win, Pedri to score at any time, over 3.5 goals, over 8.5 corners, and Rodri to be booked. And I've got a 25% bet boost on that as well. Thank you to Boyle Sports. I don't know why Nico Williams isn't playing. No. Thanks for the follow, Bedri and Hive. Are you doing the Belgium game? Technically, I am, but it's not on here. I will have it on, but I'm doing United Stand at 8 o'clock because we've got some interesting news coming in that I want to discuss. So, yeah, I will be covering that, yes. So get involved. Thank you, everybody. Riley says, I think Spain will batter Saudi Arabia today. Yes, I think this is where everybody who wrote Spain off looks really stupid because they've started off very well here. He's going to get a shot off. It's going to be an early corner. Yeah, they're a good side, Spain. Won the Euros, of course. You don't get that on Sky. Spain are a good side. It's the insights. It's the insight you're here for, isn't it? Things like that. Spain are a good side. You don't get that on Sky. State and Choncho, thank you very much for the follow. So early corner here for the Spanish. I don't watch La Liga much, actually, if ever, really, anymore. So I quite like watching Spain because you get to look at players maybe that you don't normally get to look at. Good cross coming in there. Who is Baena? Plays for Atletico Madrid, 24, playing on the left-hand side for Spain today. Number 15. Obviously, we know Yamal, Dani Olmo, both play for Barcelona. Yazabal, Real Sociedad, he's been there for bloody ages. Yazabal, I can't believe he's only 29. I feel like he's been around for like 20 years. I feel like Yazabal played in Euro 96. He didn't, but obviously Pedri, Barcelona, Rodri, Manchester City. You've got Laporte, who... Is Laporte in Saudi now? No, he's at Bilbao, Mark. Okay, he's at Bilbao. Kabasi, only 19, centre-back for Barcelona, the number 22. And then you got Pedro Porro of Spurs, Cucurella now of Real Madrid, Simon in goal, not Raya. Some people think it should be Raya. You're wrong. It's Simon, who plays for Bilbao. So Raya, second choice keeper, but not the starter. And then on the bench, as I say, you've got Fabian Ruiz, PSG, Zubamendi, Arsenal, Nico Williams, who is still at, I think he's at Sociedad, isn't he? Is Nico Williams Sociedad? I feel like he is. Bilbao. Always get those two mixed up. Yeah, Bilbao. Muniz, is he the player that Arsenal have signed? Liverpool have signed. Sasuna, number 25. Keep an eye out for him. I think that's the player that Newcastle were going to sign and Liverpool stole. Only 22. Youngest player, of course, is Yamal. Yeremy Pino, keep an eye out for him. Crystal Palace, you're right, yes. Xavi, 21. Despacito. Grimaldo, he plays in Germany. Very good left foot for Leverkusen. And then you've got Eric Garcia, who's a defender, also a young player at Barcelona as well. Cucurella is officially still a Chelsea player, I think. Yeah, I don't think that deal's actually officially gone through yet. Please do share the video, by the way. Thank you very much, everybody. Rajaf says that how is a 19-year-old the best winger in the world? He's 18, isn't he? And he's on the ball here. Is he going to use Porro? Yes, he is. Porro puts the cross in. I think Spain have always been that team that if you can sort of frustrate them, you can lock them down. I mean, it's not easy, but you can frustrate them and lock them down. Pino is a baller, good shout, says Rajaf. Look, I wouldn't say it's a problem for Spain because they've won Euros and they've won World Cups. However, I always feel with Spain, it's the lack of a striker. Good breakaway by Saudi though. He's fast there. He's going to have to wait for some support. I'll go back to the keeper. Inter bidding 25 million euros for Curtis Jones this market, says Jack. Yeah, but it's always you know, it just depends, doesn't it, if anyone actually wants to buy him. Jack Tipple says Munez is injured, apparently not on the bench. Let me have a quick look. He is there. He is on the bench, number 25. I don't know whether he's injured, though. They have him on the bench. But that doesn't mean that they will use him. Do the Portugal games, Mark, says Up the Reds. I will do the Portugal games. I mean, they've only played one. It's a long World Cup. Ninja says Happy Father's Day, Mark. I'm not your dad, am I? You're just saying it in general. Don't panic me. Not starting Raya at this World Cup is shameful, says Shames is the king. Spain have always been like that, mate. Welcome to the club. They used to do it with De Gea a lot as well. Raya probably should be the Spanish goalkeeper, but they don't like their players playing outside of Europe. This used to happen to David De Gea quite a bit as well when he was at Man United. He was clearly the best goalkeeper, but they wouldn't pick him. I have got a bet builder on, Mark, DJ. It's Spain to win, Pedri to score at any time, over 3.5 goals, over 8.5 corners, and Rodri to be booked. And we've got our second corner here. Dani Olmo with the volley, and that's well over the bar. Mark, Tonali confirmed to United, confirmed tomorrow, says Dino. Oh, yeah, really believe in that. Mark's toenail. Oh, sorry, yeah, I get what you mean. What pain? United's transfer window pain, says 2 LPC. Alpha says Mark standing 9 toes down on business today. A Magnum ice cream and Mark Goldbridge. The only thing better would be a different kind of Magnum and a beautiful lady. Says AMC. Okay. And Becky says, if they got air condition at the stadium, why the water break? They said it's very cool down there, plus hope your toe gets better. Thank you, Becky. Hope you and the husband are doing well. I got some nice gifts for Father's Day, actually. One of them you'll really like. I got a pair of Ralph Lauren swimming trunks for when I go on holiday on my own. I got a black, what are them hats? Oasis hats, bucket hat, that lights up around the rim. And Seb got me some cans of Guinness with the special widget in it. And then, I don't think he bought them himself. And then I also got a big, massive Toblerone. I don't know what they're trying to say there, because some of you have said stuff about Toblerones and shoving it in certain places. So, yeah. Flora says the best gift of it all would be it coming home. Well, remember England play on Tuesday. Talking about Portugal, they're on Tuesday, and we're on. Well, England are on Tuesday if you're English. JB says I can't wait for the group stages to be over. Yeah, I mean, look, as I said, I'm not going to just sit and do every single game. Oh, it's got to be 1-0. It's a delightful cross, and it is 1-0 to Spain. Yamal with the goal. He's absolutely ecstatic with that. I mean, it's a tap-in. It's a tap-in. Let's be very, very clear. But the cross is delightful. I think it was either Bainer or Cucurella who did it. But it was absolutely fantastic. And it's a tap-in in this first 10 minutes. And that will put Spanish minds at rest for sure early on in this game. He'll be looking to light this World Cup, Yamal. Light this World Cup up. I think it might be a Yazabel who puts the cross in, actually. Lovely cross. Yeah, it's a Yazabel. What a lovely cross this is. I mean, it's a good finish by Yamal. I'd finish it, but the cross is, you know, that's world class. That's a world class cross, that. Maybe the keeper should be coming out for it, but maybe we're being a little bit unfair there. So early goal for Spain. Bet builder's looking good, Mark. I need a Pedri goal. Big Brian, thanks for the follow on TikTok. How did you spend your Father's Day? I did the morning show on the United Stand. Then we went out for a nice brunch. Had a full English breakfast, and then we had a bit of a walk. Then then, to be honest with you, it's so hot. We were just out in the garden. And then played a bit of football, knackered up my toe, and then I've come in here to watch Spain. Yeah, Dave says, I think the keeper should have intercepted it. I'd like to have a look at that at half-time. It looks like a great cross, as 86 Games says, but that type of a cross doesn't normally not get cut out, because it's like, it looks like an amazing cross. I'd like to see it again. Dougie says, hope you're doing well, Dougie. Not heard from you for a while. Thanks for your super chat. Why do you think Italy's national team is struggling? And that's over the bar. Another shot for Spain. It's going to be a busy goalkeeper today. Why do I think Italy are... I think Italy's problem, when you haven't qualified for a World Cup for 12 years, I don't think that's just bad luck. I think it's got to be, you know, there's got to be a problem, hasn't there? There's got to be a structural problem with Italian football, development of players, coaching, yeah. Start, bench, sell, Monopoly, Snakes and Ladders, or Scrabble. I'd sell Snakes and Ladders. I mean, come on, it's a frustrating game as well, and it's completely about luck. Scrabble, I'd bench, and Monopoly, I'd start. I always liked Monopoly, actually. Not gonna lie. Grown man eating breakfast, says Julio. Do you not eat breakfast? If Spain was serious about winning the World Cup, Raya should start. He's one of the best, if not the best, goalkeepers in the world. Southgate-type favourism, says Bobby. Do you agree? As I said, they've always... Cucurella... Oh, nearly cut it back. As I said, they've always done that, Spain. They did it with David De Gea. Oh, Rodri, you should have took him down. That was your yellow card. Oh, shot over the bar from Spain. Well, they're all over them here. Anyway, going back to what we were talking about, somebody was saying they can't wait for the group stage to be over. Look, I'm enjoying the World Cup. I think the refereeing has been brilliant. I think the stadia has been brilliant. One thing I would acknowledge... One thing I would acknowledge is that there is a danger of World Cup fatigue. Because if I told you that the World Cup final is 4 weeks today, that's a month. And I feel like we've had 3 weeks of the World Cup already. I know we've only had a week and a half, but I do feel like we've had a lot of the World Cup already. And I am enjoying it, but I do feel like that. I do feel like it's been a long tournament already. Sorry, I've missold Saudi Arabia. Misspelt it in the chat. There we go. I've changed it now. So yeah, 4 weeks today is the World Cup final. So I think the only problem I've got with this World Cup at the moment is I'm loving the games. We're not getting too many 0-0s, although we did get one last night. I'm glad. I'm so... Look, this is what I mean. I think you've got to make this World Cup special, I think you've got to pick your games. I wanted to watch as many games as possible in the first week so I could see everybody play. I'm being a little bit more picky now. And when it gets to the knockout stages, I'll watch them all. But in the group games, I'm sort of like, I've seen everybody now. I'm not staying up till 2 o'clock in the morning watching Ecuador playing Curacao. So, and I'm bloody glad I didn't, because it was 0-0. Japan smacked Tunisia up at, I think, wasn't that game at 5 o'clock? Was that on at 5 o'clock in the morning? I mean, Japan smashed Tunisia. I mean, are Tunisia going to sack another manager? I mean, I don't know why they sacked the other one in the first place, to be honest. But, yeah. Anyway, the round of 32 does start a week today. So, in good news, 1 week today, we start the last 32 at 8 o'clock. We'll have our first last 32 game. And already, we do actually know when certain teams are going to play, because Germany are already definitely playing at 9:30 next Monday in the last 32, because they will definitely top their group. And Mexico will play at 2 a.m. on Wednesday, the 1st of July, because they've topped their group. And the United States will play on Thursday, the 2nd of July, at 1 a.m. because they've topped their group. So because of the head-to-head rules, we sort of know who's going to finish. Like if England win tomorrow on Tuesday, we'll top the group, which sort of makes some of the third league games a little bit pointless. Oh, Yazabal was in there. Let's put it wide. Swag, it was Yamal who scored for Spain. Start, bench, sell, wiping while sitting, standing, and B-day, says Riv. Well, I think sitting starts, standing, sell, and B-day second, I would imagine. Nico says start, bench, sell, Billie Jean, Billy Elliott, or Billy the Wiz. No, I'm joking. Billie Jean, Thriller or bad? I don't know. I'm not a fan of Michael Jackson, Nico, so I don't know. The chat can do that. If Spain likes to use players who play in their league, what about Cucurella before he's moved to Madrid? It's just favouritism dressed up as nationalism, says Rajaf. Hamza says, I'm high and paranoid. Please calm me down. And Amani, well, just watch the chat and you'll calm down. Start, bench, sell, says Amani. Tonali, Fernandez at West Ham and Wharton. Tonali start, bench, Fernandez, sell, Wharton, in my opinion. Yeah. Just more, thanks for your follow. Kajara says, I beg you to watch Uzbekistan. You know, I instantly know that game is, whenever it is going to be a 3 a.m.er. I can't, yeah. No, 6 o'clock. They're in again. Good defending by Saudi. It's going to be another corner. We are doing Portugal, Uzbekistan. It's at 6 o'clock on Tuesday. Duke, Taras, thanks for your follows. Riley as well. Rich says, yes, Japan was 5 a.m. Dino says, if Pep became Spain's next manager, do you think Spain would dominate for the rest of the next few World Cups and Euros? No, I don't think so, Dino. I don't think that necessarily makes Spain unstoppable, having Pep as manager. 2-0. Ayazabal. I mean, I think this game is going to be about how many now. Rodri's loving it. I mean, this defending from Saudi is absolutely shit. The opportunities they had to clear this ball and the failure to do so is shocking. I mean, I know it's, I know Spain are better than them, but look, that should have been cleared away. That should have been cleared away. I mean, what's that Saudi Arabian defender doing there? It's like he's sticking his foot in some stinging nettles. Kick the ball away. Watch him when it comes through to a Yazbal here. Watch what he does with his foot. Look. Yeah, weak. 2-0. Jade says, start bench sell, picking your nose, itching your bum, or biting your nails. Oh, some of these are weird. I'll just stay out of that one, thank you. They're all quite bad habits. I think there was a look at offside there, but it definitely wasn't offside. Dave says there's been absolutely no fight from Saudi Arabia from minute one. This is a very easy group to win, though, for Spain. I mean, Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia, and Uruguay. Uruguay were shit against Saudi Arabia. Very, very easy group for Spain. Jack says Fabrizio Romano is saying, don't forget Barcola on Liverpool. Well, PSG are quite good at that. If they get Diamonde, they will do a deal with Liverpool for Barcola. I mean, they did that with United. We wanted João Neves. They got João Neves. We got Agate. So they'll be more than happy to give you Barcola if they get Diamonde. Kabira says, my first super chat from India. England will win it. Thanks, pal. If Pep became... I've done that one. Thank you. Oh my God, it's 3-0. This is absolutely stunning. We've only had 23 minutes and it's 3-0 Spain. Saudis are crap. They are definitely the worst team I've seen in this World Cup. This could go 6, 7, 8, 9. It's absolutely abysmal. Yazabal is on a hat-trick. He's onside as well. I mean, you're not going to miss that, are you? A little volley from like inside the 6-yard box. 3-0 to Spain. Oh, sorry. Chater makes a great point. Are they worse than Tunisia? Haven't actually seen Tunisia yet because they always play at like 4 o'clock in the morning. So from what I've seen. Simon says Liverpool want both, Mark. I don't think you'll get both, will you? I mean, if you did, that's a statement of intent. I'm not going to say Liverpool won't get Diamonde and Barcola because as a Man United fan, you know, I just get stunned by ambition. We don't have any ambition. So, you know, clubs that do, maybe they can do that sort of thing. Jack says, we want both, Mark. Spurs want Gakpo. Yeah, so ambition, you see. AMC says, I know people who were writing Spain off. I told them they'd be wrong not to go ahead either as it's only Saudi Arabia, but they clearly were still fine. You don't get knocked out for drawing or playing bad in your first game. You don't. Loads of teams have done that. Thanks for the follow, Fanax. Rich says the Saudis have got no idea about marking or tracking runners. Well, I think the question was because the Saudi League has got so many players from abroad, you know, the Kessis, the Benzemas, the Ronaldos, will that improve the quality of the Saudi national team? To which the answer is absolutely not. No. I would have thought having all those decent players playing in your league would improve your league, but no, absolutely not. Onside there. 3 goals before the hydration break is crazy, says Hamza. That'll never stop sounding weird to me. 3 goals before the, 3 goals before half time is a statement we're used to in football. 3 goals before the hydration break is amazing. Let's hope that doesn't become the norm. The hydration break, football fans in the Premier League, La Liga, Bundesliga, we need to protest. That we should never ever have a hydration break in domestic leagues or the Champions League. What's this guy doing? No, I don't like this in the World Cup. These performative fans in front of the camera. It's weird. It's even more weird when you don't know what he's saying. Fear Fam says, is Agate staying at United? No. Here we go. Another incredible stadium here in Atlanta. Really is impressive. Hydration breaks are total momentum killer for teams, says Marco. Kabir says, Spain could easily score 7 or 8 goals at this rate. Frank's not a fan of it either. Ferracini, thanks for the follow on TikTok and user 712207. This Ben Jacobs update that everybody's talking about, this is why you need to follow the United Stand and watch our shows. That is a regurgitation of what Ben Jacobs said on Thursday. That is just an aggregator board putting something out there with no date stamp on it. He said it on Thursday and he didn't say it in that way either. So just be careful of what you're reading, because this is what aggregators do. On a slow day, they regurgitate something from a few days ago and manipulate it a little bit. It's old news. It's not a new statement. So just be careful, because people are passing that off as if Ben Jacobs said it today. He said it on our channel on Thursday and it wasn't as blunt as what people are putting it out. In fact, I think United Stand have tweeted the truth. Yes, United Stand have tweeted it out because another account put it out in a wrong way. So we've put it out there as what was said on Thursday. Wasn't said today. How many do we think Spain are going to get? Definitely 6. Maybe 8. Saudi's game plan is just absolutely in the mud. They barely get past the halfway line. Luke Shaw FC. They just can't get out their own half. What do you do now if you're Saudi manager? Says Rex. It's just damage limitation, because Saudi Arabia have got a point. So if they can beat Cape Verde in the last game, they will go through. So I think it's about damage limitation, really. I'll tell you what, I would love the Saudis in. I would love to get the Saudis in the group in the first knockout stage. That would be a massive result, wouldn't it? Really would. Don't forget, we're sponsored by Boyle Sports on the stream. Links in the description. Scan the QR code. Get your bet builders going. My bet builder today, where you put a load of things together in one bet. They all need to come in and you get boosted odds. Spain to win. Pedri to score at any time, not yet. Over 3.5 goals, nearly. Over 8.5 corners, nearly. Rodri to be booked, not yet. So I tell you what, if Pedri scores and Rodri gets booked, I'm in. I'm in. We have had a booking in this game. And we've also had 3 corners. We'll definitely, we'll get 10 corners in this game. Easy. Easy. Yeah, so thank you very much to Boyle Sports. Don't forget our question. I've actually got another question for you as well. First question was, we'll tell you at half-time, who is Spain's all-time top goal scorer, having scored 59 goals in 1998 internationals? And also, during their debut tournament in USA 94, Saudi Arabia reached the knockout stages. I know. In an old format, they reached the knockout stages, Saudi Arabia. Their progression was sealed by an iconic length of the pitch solo goal against Belgium, often called one of the greatest World Cup goals ever. Who scored it? See what I mean? Saudi Arabia, in the last American World Cup, actually got out of the group. So they're probably worse now than they were then, although they can still get out of this group, to be fair. Back yourself with Ball Sports, 18 plus, UK and Ireland only. Please bet responsibly. Terms and conditions are in the description and on the screen. King, thanks for your follow. Alex240 as well. What's your favourite football formation, Mark? I don't think you can go wrong with a 4-3-3. With the midfield, with two wide men, a striker, and then the midfield three for me is a holder, a box-to-box, and a 10. Apparently we've got an Ornstein bomber. We could do with some bloody transfer updates, you know. Ornstein bomber. Lucas Bergvall informs Tottenham of his preference to seek new challenge. 20-year-old midfielder targeted by clubs in the Premier League and Europe, and Tottenham aware of wish to leave this summer for a fresh start. Sweden international contracted until 2031. Get him to United. Get him to United. Definitely. I really rate him. I rate him. I think he's a good player. I think I'd welcome him at United. Here's Yamal. Good play. Bit greedy though. Phil Mitchell says, I don't want Spurs players at United. Mate, we might be about to sign bloody Sander Berg and Belaber at this rate, so definitely take Berg back. Oh, Saudi on the attack. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. As you can tell, the ball's back with Spain. Start, bench, sell. Romano, Ornstein, Ben Jacobs, says Henry. Oh, I mean, come on. I mean, honestly, I won't sit on the fence. I like all three. I think Ben Jacobs is not going to have a problem with me putting Romano and Ornstein ahead of him, so I'll sell Ben Jacobs. Although I think he's been brilliant over the last sort of 18 months. The big question is whether you start or bench Romano or Ornstein. It's tough. I think it comes down to who you prefer. A lot of people have gone off Romano because he does do a lot of ad work, but so what? He still gets big here we goes. I mean, that Cucurella one came out of nowhere. So he hasn't, people want to say he's fell off, but he hasn't fell off. You might not like his, you know, the way that he does it, but he still does get a lot of exclusives. So I think I would start Romano still and bench Ornstein. It is close, but I still think at this moment in time I would still bench Romano, yeah. Start, bench, sell Randy Savage, Mr. Perfect, or Rick Rude. Sell Rick Rude, bench Mr. Perfect, sell start Randy Savage. No, Nagash. Bloody hell, Saudi Arabia are. I just can't believe it. Yazabel's nearly scored a hat-trick by dinking it over the goalkeeper. And it all comes around because Saudi Arabia are fucking around at the back. Under no pressure, they nearly concede a corner. Goalkeeper keeps it. I mean, I'd check his bank account. Have you seen that pass to the... Watch this from the goalkeeper. I mean... I think that's dodgy, I do. He literally passes it to Yazabel. Anyway. Lackey says the cross and run are very good. Yazabel's man of the match so far. 2 goals and an assist. He's been involved in everything. Yamal shoots straight at the keeper. And Saudi Arabia will clear it. Solar Panel says, my main issue with hydration breaks is that they can adjust tactics before half time. Should be scrapped, or at the very least managers should stay away. Thank you, Solar Panel. Are we sure this goalkeeper isn't an Anna in disguise, says Noah. Are new World Cup rules definitely coming to the Prem, says Fear Fam. I think they are. Zane, Hayden, and JR and Ben, thanks for your follows. This is a good super chat. Football fan 2463 says, I'm a Saudi and Literally all of our problems stem from our lack of ability to keep possession of the ball for more than 30 seconds. No technical ability, says Football Fan 2463. I've got to be honest, I don't know whether we've got many people from Saudi watching on TikTok or on YouTube. And if we do, then please do let us know your thoughts. But I think you are disgustingly bad. And I'm not saying that in a sense of, it's actually a compliment, because, you know what, I think back to 94, I think back to Qatar, you beat Argentina. Like, you know, Saudi Arabia are not Curacao, they're not Haiti. Saudi Arabia actually do have a reasonable underdog story in World Cup football. And you're getting absolutely battered. Like, you look rubbish. This is not what I would have expected of Saudi at all. And then when you add into the fact that you've got a World Cup coming in 8 years, and you've got a league that pays people, you know, millions of pounds a month, I really would have expected that your national team would be a little bit better. I mean, you just sort of go through their team, and you know, there's players playing here who play with Ronaldo. I mean, Ronaldo's Al Nassr, isn't he? I'm pretty sure he is. Yeah, Ronaldo plays for Al Nassr, right? One of their goalkeepers plays for Al Nassr. 2 of their defenders play for Al Nassr. 2 midfielders play for Al Nassr. And 1 of their strikers plays for Al Nassr. So, you know, and look, there's Al Hilal. You know, the Al Ali. These have all got, I mean, I don't know who plays for who. Some of these people will be playing against or with Mane, you know. It's not good enough. And as I say, Saudi beat Argentina in the last World Cup. They've been to the knockout phases before. I'm really disappointed with them. I didn't think they were very good against Uruguay, and I don't think they've been very good here. Harley says, I'm from Saudi, and this might be the worst we've ever performed. Look, football's a massively growing sport in that area. Look at the money that's been invested in the league. They've got a World Cup going there. But it's not like Qatar, who are, you know, trying to build a team. Saudi Arabia have decades of footballing experience. 1994, like I say, got to the knockout stage. But this is not a good team. Gaz Wilson says, do you think you could build a competitive England 11 using only Man United English Premier League players? How far do you think that team could go in this cup? No, we haven't got enough, Gaz. Daniel, thanks for the follow. And Ayans, thanks for the follow as well. Jacob too. Johnny. You look a bit tired, Mark. I'll be honest. You might not have noticed on the streams yesterday. I went to Seb's awards show, which was like a big summer fair, and I may have had 3 more pints than I was planning on. I got home for the Netherlands-Sweden game, and literally, well, I wouldn't say I had a pint of coffee, but I had a strong coffee. I was, yeah. But that's me, professionalism, you know. So I'm feeling a little bit. I wouldn't say I'm hungover, but I'm looking forward to my bed tonight. You know, I'm looking forward to a clean night of hydration and sleep. How many did you have? 6. Six, 7. No, I didn't have 7. Yeah. I really do feel like one now though, because it's hot weather. I may after this, before the 8 o'clock show, I may partake in. One's okay, isn't it? What one will be fine. Newport City Nightmare says Child's Play. That is. There's this guy on Instagram. You know when you go on Instagram, you can look at stories. I mean, who looks at posts anymore? He does like pub crawls in different cities, and he was in Birmingham yesterday. And I know Birmingham quite well, so I was interested in what pubs he went in, and he did go in some good pubs, to be fair. Old Joint Stock, Old Contemptibles, the Colmore, Backer's Bar. But he went in about 12 pubs and had a pint in every one of them. I was like, 12 pints? And he was fine on the 12th pint. I'm like, I know some people can drink 12 pints, but bloody hell. I'd tell you what, after 7, I'd be like, forget it. Yeah. And I'm not bothered about that. It has its, you know, I'm quite wiry. I'm not like, I don't carry a lot of weight, so I'm never going to drink 12 pints of lager and be okay about it. But 12 pints is pretty impressive, I must admit. I'd be absolutely off my head, yeah. Yeah. Like I say, I'm not embarrassed by that. Know your limits. In everything, know your limits. It's like that guy with the YouTube channel who can eat all the food. The food looks amazing when it comes out. I won't be able to eat a quarter of it. He's got a big stomach. Have you ever had 12 pints? I used to go out in Dublin when I was like 23, and we'd go to the pub at 5 and I'd still be out at 3 in the morning. So that's 10 hours of drinking. That would be in the region of 10 to 12 pints, I reckon. Yeah. Laser Gaming says, how you been? You big old legend. I'm all right, mate. Hope you're doing well as well. Strawberries and cream Stella. Get on it. Never heard of that, Lee. Jack says, Sanderberg or Baleba for United. Who do you pick? I think that's just about... I tell you what, if Man United sign Sanderberg or Baleba and Liverpool are signing Diamonde, I think I'll just do something I'd never thought I would do, and just start supporting Liverpool. Hello, everybody. It's the Liverpool stand. I imagine that. No, I mean, obviously I wouldn't do that, but I'd feel like it. I'd be absolutely fed up. I'd be so fed up. Ooh, Spain with a breakaway. It's Yamal. He needs a bit... Oh, he's messed that up completely. Did you get to listen to the slates? If so, what did you think? I haven't yet. T-Potion. Let me write it into my browser again, because it was in my browser yesterday. I just didn't do it, but I've got a little bit more time tonight. It was because it was a late game last night. Alex says, would you take Yamal over anyone else? Man United need midfielders, but I would like to sign Yamal, yeah. Nesta says, what's your thoughts on the Bruno hate? And Kajara says, what's wrong with Sanderberg? The fact that he's touching 30 and is a Fulham midfielder, that's the problem. We're Manchester United, mate. I don't think old Mikel Arteta sat there going, get me Sanderberg, or Jose Mourinho, or Luis Enrique, or Iriola. I mean, he's okay, but we've already bought our okay midfielder. I don't mind Sanderberg if you buy Mateus Fernandes and Tchouameni, but we've already got Ederson. I don't want Sanderberg and Ederson. We've already got our Sanderberg. It's Ederson. Now we need to get some top-class players in. Thoughts on the Bruno hate? It's Ronaldo, isn't it? It's the strange world of Ronaldo, who I love. I love Ronaldo, but if you criticise or cause Ronaldo a problem, you will get hate. I mean, I literally, on my threads, Instagram threads, I posted something after Messi's hat-trick about Ronaldo as a joke. Oh, my God. I thought I was going to, I thought I was going to have to cancel my account because there was people coming in. It's like the trouble is, it's all right to have a fan club, but when your fan club is horrible and toxic, fuck off, And Bruno getting hate because of Ronaldo's fans is ridiculous. That's where it becomes not about football, and I can't be doing with Player FC. And as I said, Ronaldo is one of my favourite players, but I'm a football fan. I'm not a fucking Player FC fan, and they can get fucked. It's stupid. And it's the same goes for Messi fans as well. I love Messi and Ronaldo. You can love them both. But, going after Bruno, because Ronaldo's not scoring goals at 41. I mean, that just shows a lot. You know, these are people who've got pictures of Ronaldo on their wall but don't understand football. It's embarrassing. I don't think Ronaldo should get dropped for Portugal. Some people do. But it ain't Bruno or Neves or Vitinha's fault that he's not scoring goals. That's ridiculous. But I think Ronaldo will score on Tuesday against Uzbekistan. And a little bit like Spain, isn't it? You know, Spain draw their first game and, Spain are finished. Ronaldo doesn't score in the first game. Ronaldo's finished. I wouldn't be surprised if he scored a hat-trick on Tuesday. United 777 says, what's your thoughts on Japan? They look like they could do good. I think with Japan, it just depends on Saudi on the break here. Lovely feet. He did really well there. I think with Japan, it just depends on who they're going to catch in the knockouts, because I think I'm right in saying that particular group gets a tough round of 32 game. I'll double check it at half time. Remind me about Japan at half time. We'll come back to that. Thanks for the follow, Angel and Connor on TikTok. Thoughts on the USA? They're looking good. They're looking good. And I think they've got a great chance of hitting the last 16. But it's all dependent on who you get in the last 16 and the last 32. Dependent on who finishes third, who finishes top, you could land a interesting interesting tie. Nearly at half time here. If England aren't going to win it, who's going to win it? I think France. You know, I do think France, yeah. Half time. Stop the clock. Thanks for everyone who get involved. Make sure you subscribe if you're on YouTube. Thanks for all the follows on TikTok. Yeah, we'll talk about Japan in a moment. Thank you very much for that super chat. Appreciate it. Look, a very dominant display by Spain. All their goals scored before the hydration break. No goals scored after the hydration break. Does that suggest that the hydration break killed the momentum? 73% possession. We've had 5 corners already. 17 shots to 1 for Spain, but it has slowed a little bit post that hydration break. No goals since then, but it is 3-0 at half time. Been very, very convincing Spain. Saudi, I think there is a conversation to be had there about how poor they have been, because I would expect them to be better than that. I know they're an underdog, but I would expect them to be better than that. I thought it was really poor, to be honest with you. Elena says, what were your thoughts on Adingra's miss yesterday? Well, it's funny, I went out for a meal this morning with the family, and my daughter who plays football, she just finished the GCSEs, and we were walking down to the restaurant, and she said, I was really impressed with Ivory Coast, and I thought, that's an interesting take. Tell me more. And she said, well, I don't think they deserve to lose. I thought they were very good, and I think they're a good team. And I went, you know what, I actually do agree with you, but you know what the issue is? And she said, what? I said, well, this is the inexperience of World Cup football. It's switching off at the wrong time. And I said, I think Ivory Coast do look very good, and I think they did do very well, but they lost the game. And this is why underdogs don't win the World Cup, and this is why, you know, the powerhouses do. On a different day, Ivory Coast could have won that. On a normal day, they should have drew it. On a real day, they lost. And I'm not taking anything away from Germany, because that's why Germany and Spain and France and Argentina win World Cups, because they turn those games into wins, and Ivory Coast turn those games into a loss. The Adingra chance, Alina, was the chance for them to win, and if they'd scored that goal, they would have won that game. And we'd be talking today about probably Ivory Coast's most historical World Cup win ever. Instead, they go and lose the game. So they can still turn it around, but psychologically, these underdogs, until they get past those types of results, it's very difficult to deal with it, isn't it? But I still think Ivory Coast could be a team to watch in this tournament. We'll talk about Japan in a minute as well. Do you think the 1980s short shorts will come back? Everything comes back and goes round in fashion at some point, Fear Fam. João Neves and his girlfriend have been getting tons of abuse on their social media account because of Neves' post-match comments. Pathetic. Is his power back? And also as well, look, Ronaldo played for Man United, one of the greatest players to ever play the game. I like Messi and Ronaldo. I'm probably rare in that sense. I don't do Messi or Ronaldo. I like them both. I always said it was a privilege to have those two players, and I think they pushed each other to levels that they never would have hit on their own. So I'm a massive fan of both players. The toxic side of it is disgusting. And, you know, Ronaldo is so big and so popular that he's bigger than Portugal. He was bigger than he was bigger than Man United when he came back. So when he doesn't do well, he's bigger than Portugal. So João Neves, Bruno Fernandes, everybody else will get pelters because he is bigger than Portugal. And his fan base will go looking for people to blame. The problem with that is these people they haven't got Portugal's best interests at heart. They've got Ronaldo's best interests at heart because it's Team Ronaldo. Well, you and I know if Harry Kane isn't scoring goals and English fans start blaming Jude Bellingham and Declan Rice and Elliot Anderson and they go after them in the social media, privately, Rice, Anderson and Bellingham are going to be rattled. And that impacts England's chances. And that's the stupidity of it. Going after Bruno or Neves or Vitinha because Ronaldo's not scoring goals disrupts the Portuguese team. But that doesn't matter to these people because they don't care. They're just Ronaldo fans. But it damages Portugal's chances. And I tell you what, if I was Bruno Fernandes or I was João Neves and I'm posting on Instagram at a World Cup and I look at my replies and I'm getting abuse because of Ronaldo, I don't think I'm sat there in the canteen laughing it off. I think I'm sat there going, I just want to win games of football with Portugal and we've got this bloody noise around us. So, look, this is what happens when you're basically the biggest person in football. But ultimately, I don't think it helps Portugal. I just hope Ronaldo scores on Tuesday. And look, I think the World Cup's a better place if Ronaldo's scoring goals because we've got Messi doing it with Argentina. We've got Kane doing it with England. Got Yamal, you've got Haaland, even people like Balogun at USA. So many people have turned up to this World Cup. It would be great if Ronaldo did turn up. But I don't know that blaming his teammates is going to necessarily help that. Those people wear Ronaldo or Messi pyjamas, says Oil Cruiser. Grady, Got Coldest, Bossman, and Joshua, thanks for your follows. United 77, I'm going to do that in a minute. Hood says, it's the summer, World Cup's on and the sun's out. Treat yourself, Mark. Appreciate the company during the matches. Been at uni abroad this year, so thank you. Oh, mate, I'm loving the World Cup community that we're building around the Watchalongs. It's been brilliant, so thanks everyone who's getting involved. If you're on YouTube, please do subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 1.5 million. Very close on 1.48 at the moment, so please do subscribe. And thanks everyone who's given us a follow on TikTok as well. Marshall, Till, Harrison, Manny, really appreciate you too. We're on the United stand at 8 o'clock, yes. To be honest, the amount of hate Ronaldo was getting is ridiculous as well, says John. Yeah, it's stupid. Why can't India ever qualify for World Cup, says Jess. But apparently they nearly did. This was asked last night, and we had some Indian fans on saying they nearly did. Met Emily Derry. She's normally a voice of reason. Thanks for your super chat, Emily. Predominantly from the United stand community, but not opposed to watching That's Football, I don't think. Emily says, Messi and Ronaldo are GOATs, but the fact is their time will come to an end. At some point they will retire, and when they do, they deserve their legacy and not have it poisoned by toxic fans. Well, there you go. Absolutely spot on from Emily there. I don't think Neves said anything bad. I interpreted it as they're all one unit and no one is more or less important than the other. He said nothing wrong, says Solar Panel. No, João Neves spoke like any footballer does about team. The problem is Ronaldo's fan base doesn't see him as Portugal or Man United or Al Nassr. They see him as Team Ronaldo, so they won't like it when it's like everybody in together. I'd bench Ronaldo if I says Canadian Red Devil. See, I wouldn't bench him because I don't actually rate Ramos. So I wouldn't. Stig says Portugal aren't even playing for Ronaldo. No crosses. Thank you very much for that. Right, let me talk to you about Japan. So a lot of people are saying Japan look really good. Japan could win this tournament. The problem you've got is that it's the way the Netherlands and Japan's group works is that you play. I mean, I've got it like this. It might not work out like this, but they don't get to play a third place team, basically. So if Netherlands and Sweden go through in first and second, whoever's in first doesn't get to play a third place team. You could get second place in Sweden's group or Brazil's group. So the problem Japan have got and the Netherlands have got is they're going to get a relatively difficult game in the round of 32. Whereas some teams are going to pick up Scotland or Saudi or Cape Verde or someone like that. So the Netherlands and Japan get a second place team no matter what. So that's the problem that the Netherlands and Japan have got, is that they will get a difficult round of 32 game. And Brazil will as well. Brazil will play, I think it's second place in Sweden's group. So some groups get it harder than others. But I think Japan do look good, yeah. Dino, thanks for your super chat. He says, with all this hate towards Bruno, do you think if Portugal failed to win the World Cup that Bruno would retire because of all the hate and all the Ronaldo fans? Well, is Ronaldo not going to retire? Yeah, I don't know. Okay, don't forget that we are sponsored. I've got a couple of quiz question answers for you as well here. Let me sort this out for you. We are sponsored by Ball Sports, as you know, on this stream. I've got my little bet builder on the go at the moment. I'm really struggling with yellow cards. I'm not going to do a yellow card. I don't want to do a yellow card in my bet builder ever again anymore. It's really messing me up. I keep doing it. I have a format and it's not working. So my bet builder today was Spain to win. Yes. Pedri to score at any time. Could still happen. Over 3.5 goals will happen. Over 8.5 corners will happen. Rodri to be booked. It's the booking one. It's doing me head in. It's catching me out and it's problematic. A reminder that Ball Sports are adding a 25% bet boost on top of your bet builders today. If you want to get on Ball Sports and build a bet builder for any of the games, you get a 25% bet boost. Links in the description or scan the QR code. Build your own. We asked you a couple of questions. Who is Spain's all-time top goal scorer, having scored 59 goals in 98 international appearances? A lot of you got it. It was David Villa. Well done on that one. During the tournament, tournament debut in '94, Saudi Arabia reached the knockout stages with an amazing individual goal scored by who against Belgium, often called one of the best goals the World Cup's ever seen. It was Saeed Al Oweiran. who scored that goal. So well done if you got that one. I remember it well. Don't forget, with Ball Sports, 18 plus only, new UK and Ireland customers. Terms and conditions are in the description and on the screen. Please bet responsibly. BeGambleAware.com. Thank you very much for that. So, what else? What other games are you doing, Mark? Okay, I always do this as well. Great point. Thanks, Jim. I always say at halftime what the schedule is, and it is a Sunday. We're going into a new week. So the schedule is this. Obviously, Spain, Saudi Arabia second half is coming up very, very soon. And I think we're going to see an amazing comeback from Saudi Arabia. No, we don't. Belgium are playing Iran at 8 o'clock. I'm on United Stand at 8 o'clock. We've got some big news on United Stand at 8 o'clock. So I will have Belgium-Iran on, but I'm going to be live on the United Stand. So I'm not doing a standalone watch-along for Belgium-Iran. I'm on United Stand at 8 o'clock, but I'll have that game on as well. And then our next watch-along is Argentina against Austria tomorrow night at 6. Then we're doing France against Iraq at 10. And then we're doing Norway against Senegal at 1 a.m. So that's 3 watch-alongs tomorrow. Argentina, Austria, France, Iraq, Norway, Senegal tomorrow. There are games in between that. Uruguay are playing Cape Verde tonight. New Zealand are playing Egypt tonight. I say tonight, into the early hours. I'm not doing them. Jordan play Algeria at 4 a.m. in the early hours of Tuesday morning. Not doing that. Tuesday, we've got Portugal, Uzbekistan at 6, and we will be doing that one. And then we've got England against Ghana at 9 o'clock. Come on, it's coming home. Brilliant. Looking forward to that. Can't wait for that. And then we're into basically the final group games. So, yeah, Scotland play Brazil on Wednesday at 11 p.m., which we'll be doing. So looking forward to that. And then it's just working our way through until the last 32. What I would say is, I was saying this before, loving the World Cup. What are your thoughts on the World Cup? Do let me know in the chat. Usman, thanks for your follow. And Jimmy and Joe Evans and Samo, thanks for your follows on TikTok. What are your thoughts on the World Cup now, a week and a half in? There's genuinely a few things for me I want to say. I'm a veteran. You know, I'm into my 40s, so I'm older than most of you. I've seen loads of World Cups. It's interesting. Ian Wright and Roy Keane and Gary Neville were doing a combined England Italia 90 and this World Cup 11. And I agreed with most of it. But then as the striker, it was Harry Kane or Gary Lineker. And they went with Lineker. And I was like, I remember Italia 90. I remember Lineker, and I liked him. As a player, I liked him. He scored a very good goal against Germany, Cameroon. Really did like him. There is just no way in the world Lineker is as good as Harry Kane. There's just not. There's not. Absolutely not a chance. Alan Shearer and Harry Kane, you can have a conversation if you want. I'd still say Kane. But Lineker and Shearer, no. Lineker and Kane, absolutely not. And this is the beauty of, you know, having seen so much. I've seen the whole of the Premier League. I know everything about the Premier League. I've seen many, many World Cups. This World Cup is amazing. I wasn't convinced about Qatar. I wasn't convinced about South Africa. I wasn't actually convinced about Russia, although I thought the group stage was very good. And when I say I wasn't convinced, it just didn't feel like Brazil did in 2014, like France did in 1998. This just feels like a World Cup. The stadia, the atmosphere, it's been great, really great. And I think most of the football's been really good as well. The officiating has taken the World Cup to a different level. I think it's incredible the way we see players going down, clutching their ankle, waiting for the free kick they normally get, and the referee saying play on, and then they look up and go, shit, he's not going to give the foul, and then they get up. I do. I think the refereeing's been fantastic. No long throw-ins, you know, absolutely brilliant. So I'm absolutely loving this World Cup. My only concern with is the relentless nature of it. Burnout. Burnout is the biggest problem. I went for it hard in the first week. You know, I was pulling in, you know, a lot of the 2 a.m. games. And I think what I've decided to do for the last week of the group games is just reduce it a little bit ahead of the knockouts. Because if I keep pushing it, I'm going to burn out. And I want to keep that interest going. So that's sort of my tactic this week. I'm still going to do a lot of watch-alongs, but I just want to, with the knockout stage starting a week today, I'm sort of like, I don't need to push it and watch every single game. And also, because of the group stage format where it's head-to-head and not goal difference, I think some of the third games are a little bit dull. Like the USA are already top of their group. They can't not be top of their group. Germany, Mexico, they're already top of their group. They can't not be top of their group. So I think some of the third games, like Hayden says, they just don't matter. Like England against Panama, I will watch it, but it won't matter because we'll be top of the group if we beat Ghana. There's no jeopardy there at all. So I think that I'm looking forward to the knockout stage. I think there are some bloody good games going on in the third games. Portugal, Colombia could be massive. Portugal, Colombia play each other third game. They could be playing for top. I think that could be really interesting. I don't think I could put it any better than this, though. Yesha says, great football, great stadiums, great refereeing, great atmosphere. Absolutely spot on. Robbie, Raz, and Tazali, thank you very much for your follows on TikToks. Where do we watch the United stands? Says Sim. It's on YouTube, mate. Fabian and Nick, thanks for your follows. Mel as well. On the other hand, Ilas says gassing up this World Cup is really strange. Yeah, but I tell you what I think's strange, mate, is people like you who clearly have a problem with the World Cup but actually can't list anything up other than saying we're strange for gassing it up. But you can't list anything about it that's actually relevant. We're on 487,400 subscribers on YouTube, so please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner, on that road to 1.5 million, which we could hit during this World Cup at some point over the next 4 weeks. So please do subscribe and get involved. Nevermind says, shout out from Kenya. Yeah, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. As always, thanks everybody for tuning in. We did drop. We're not just watch-alongs on this channel, by the way. That's football, so doesn't matter who you support, you can get involved. Did a video, quick 10-minute video this morning on Diamonde and Liverpool. I think that deal will happen. I have no information on it, but I think that deal will happen. Liverpool look like they want it, and I think they will get it done. Who's your favourite player that you love to watch at the World Cup? Says Frankie. I think that's the brilliant thing about the World Cup, though, isn't it? You know, I think about over previous World Cups. I mean, look at '94. England weren't there, but Hadji, Romario, Stoichkov, Cucurella, goal. Cucurella, I just realised I put Cucurella in with Hadji, Stoichkov and Romario. It's because he's just scored a goal, 4-0, on the back post, from a corner, hits the volley. Again, poor defending by Saudi. Is Cucurella the most annoying person in football? He doesn't really bother me, but I know a lot of people think he's a twat. I always think what he'd look like if he cut his hair short. I think he'd look an even bigger knobhead, to be honest. Imagine if he didn't have hair like that. Yeah, keeper saves it, and then it bounces against the defender. To be honest, that's not bad defending. It's just bad luck. You know, Cucurella's hit it well. Goalkeeper's got his body in the way. It's bounced off the goalkeeper and hit the defender and gone in. You can't argue with that. We could see double figures, says Graham. I mean, look, I think when a game gets to this point, the entertainment value is how many goals can Spain score. The problem for Saudi is that if they want to finish in the top 3 and qualify, with their last game being Cape Verde, then goal difference is going to be absolutely huge. So Saudi really need to keep this score down. I mean, I say keep it down, they're losing 4-0. And also, in relation to the league, remember, no, forget it. Spain won't not beat Uruguay. I was going to say, if Uruguay beats Spain, Spain might not finish top of the group, but I thought... we did do Uruguay-Saudi, didn't we? I'm sure we did that as a watch-along. When was that? June. Yeah, Saudi Arabia, Uruguay, 1-1. Did we do that one? I can't remember whether we did. I feel like we did, because I would have been going on about Bielsa ball. Yeah, we did. It was 11 PM game on the 15th of June. We did do it. They just weren't. It just wasn't a very good game, was it? Yeah, well, I know a few Uruguayans, and they don't like their team, so I don't think they're going to do very well either. What's the watch-along schedule looking like, says Dina? Our next one's tomorrow, Argentina against Austria. I'm not doing Uruguay, Cape Verde tonight. I can't be arsed. So yeah, it's Belgium, Iran. I'm going to be on the United Stand at 8 o'clock, so I'll have it on whilst we're doing that, because we've got some big news around a midfielder that isn't Fernandez. Karistam's got Uruguay in sweepstake. You're fucked, mate. Basically. Cold Tea, thanks for your follow. Have you watched New House of the Dragon? Says John. Is that out at the moment? When is that out? Good save by the Saudi keeper there from Porro. Jamie says, I've got Spain in my sweepstake. They've done one at Seb's school and he got Spain. I said you probably got a half decent chance there. Do you reckon you could play in the Saudi league? Based off this, I reckon I could play centre back. First episode tonight, probably the early hours, won't it? Thunder Gunner says Saudis are going to win this. Well, they are on the attack. To be honest, as an Arsenal fan, you'd know about losing a 4-0 lead. Newcastle. What a game that was. Arsenal winning 4-0 at half-time against Newcastle at St James's Park. Drew 4-4. I remember Czech Tiote scoring a goal. Rest in peace. Sadly, no longer with us. I think, did he, I can't remember what happened with Czech Tiote. Yeah, Ivory Coast player. Died at 30 years of age. It's tragic. He was a good player as well. 55 caps for Ivory Coast. Cardiac arrest in training. Very sad. But yeah, he scored that day. Gamer and Shandaras, thanks for your follow. DJ Kush as well. Nearly another one for Spain there, but they're still on the attack. For my bet builder, I do need... that's a good cross. Ooh, Cucurella's nearly on that. I need a Pedri goal. Don't know whether I'm going to get it. Here's a quiz question for you. What's the highest scoring game in this World Cup so far? Who can get it quick in the chat? Either chat, what's the highest scoring game in the World Cup so far? Go. I'm looking at both chats here. Oh, he's done it already. Done it already. Rooney, Germany. Well done. Very quick. You're very good. Loads of you got it now. Somebody did say Canada 6-0. It wasn't. It was Germany. Well done. Very fast. Intelligent chat. Yamal came off for Crystal Palace Pino, and Ferran Torres came on for Yarzabal. That's just, with Yamal, that's just injury. He's not injured. It's keeping him, gradually introducing him back into football. It's not looking good for Rafinha, is it? Out of the rest of the tournament. Sorry, not out of the rest of the tournament, but don't clip that. Rafinha is out of the rest of the group games, and they're hoping that he can be back at some stage in the knockouts. But I mean, that's like that'd be like England losing Saka. It's a loss. Who's been your best underdog so far, says Toby? I think Ivory Coast blew it last night. Otherwise, I probably would have said them. So yeah, Japan at the moment. I'm looking forward to. I'll tell you what. That's an early hours morning game I wouldn't miss. I am being selective with my games now. I'm not just going to watch any fucking game. It's a waste of time. The reason I'm doing United stand at 8 o'clock and not doing Belgium-Iran is because I thought Belgium was shit in the last game, and I don't think Iran are that good either. So I'm like, that could be a 0-0. Or it'll be a boring Belgium 2-0 or something like that. But Senegal against Norway at 1 a.m. tomorrow, I know it's a late nighter, but I'm definitely watching that. I think that's a game of interest. When you look at that group, France's group, Norway got 3 points. Senegal have got no points. Senegal need to win that game. I think that's going to be a cracking game. And let's not forget, if Norway beat Senegal, Senegal could be heading home. They could still get through with third place, but that's a strong group as well. You probably wouldn't want to get. And what I'm saying is, I thought Senegal played well against France, but second half France just went to another level. Imagine if it's a good game tomorrow night, but Norway win by the odd goal. Senegal is still a good team. They then batter Iraq, get third place. You could land Senegal as a third place team. They're a hidden gem. So, but I think that's a really interesting game tomorrow. Apart from the England game, which has been your favourite game to watch so far, says Toby? Good question. What's your lot's been? What's all your favourite game been so far? I probably have to refer to the scores and have a look. I thought Germany-Ivory Coast was a good game, by the way, last night. I did enjoy that. I thought Netherlands-Sweden was a good performance from the Netherlands as well. But there is a game that jumps out to me. I enjoyed Messi's hat-trick, yes. England-Croatia, biased, I think that was a brilliant game. You know what? I think Netherlands-Japan. I think that was the game that stood out to me the most. I think Netherlands-Japan. Yeah. I thought that was a brilliant game. Lots of people saying that in the chat. Yeah, I knew there was one I really enjoyed. And funnily enough, Netherlands 2 games would be in my top 5. So credit to the Netherlands. I enjoyed their performance against Sweden. But Netherlands-Japan would be my second after England-Croatia. France-Senegal was good in the second half. First half wasn't great. And I did enjoy Germany-Ivory Coast. So, yeah, I think Netherlands-Japan, England-Croatia, Germany-Ivory Coast were good games in their entirety for 90 minutes. Yeah. Which bodes well for the rest of the tournament. I think the knockouts will be very interesting. Here's a quiz question for you. Hydration break. Oh, God. I'm really injured at the moment, you know. I'm not even joking. Oh, man. Oh. I really could do with a hot bath, but I'm not having one in this weather. You can shove it up your arse. Canada and USA have been very good teams to watch, but I'm talking about games. Nico Williams is coming on and Moreno is coming on. Quiz question. This took me a bit of time to figure it out. Quiz question. At what point are we halfway through this World Cup? Have any of you figured it out yet? Because I know the date. I know the game and I know the date. At what point are we halfway through this World Cup? Haven't seen anyone get it yet. Mexico in the finals, says Dash. I'd be very surprised. We're not halfway through it today, no. No. It's not a date. You don't look at the start date and the end date and say that's halfway. It's actually to do with how many games there are and what game is the middle game of that. So you need to know how many games there are in the World Cup first, and then you need to count from the first game to the middle game. It is roughly around the start of round of 32, which is next Sunday, to be fair. A lot of people are saying round of 32 and being lazy, but it is roughly around there. I'll give you a clue. Do you think the World Cup will ever adopt a Champions League style group format? 6 group games would force teams to utilise their squads more, plus top 8 rewarded with a bye, says Guardian Elite Joe. I mean, nothing would surprise me with FIFA. I think one thing that's constant in football is that they will always try and do something new. I'm terrified they're going to bring the Wenger offside rule in. I think it'll be the worst thing for football that's ever happened. But there will always be change, definitely. Saudi Arabia on a rare attack here. They've won the ball back. But absolutely no idea what to do with it now they've got it, and they go all the way back to the halfway line. They'll probably go back to their goalkeeper in a minute. Pedri's still on the pitch and so is Rodri. A goal for Pedri and a yellow card for Rodri, and I've got my bet builder in. It can still happen. Habby, thanks for your follow. George Dad as well. How many games are there in this World Cup? I feel it's 104, but... Matt Clark says, I've got lumbar issues as well. A stim machine is cheap, easy to use, and would do wonders for your back. I've never heard of a stim machine. I'm hungry now. I'm hungry, Mom. I'm hungry. There we go. Oh, he's messed it up. Ferran Torres, 1-on-1. Put it wide. Should have been 5. Do you have done that one? Evening Mark says, Vinny, hey, Vinny, Vinny, it's Vinny. Hey, Vinny's in the chat. Hey, Vinny, Vinny's in the chat. Hey, Vinny. Vinny says, evening Mark, amazing World Cup coverage, well done. Do you prefer groups being settled by head-to-head record first? Seems fairer to me. What do you reckon? I do like the head-to-head. So if nobody's aware of this, the group stages will be solved by head-to-head. So best way of showing this is by getting the group up. So let's say Uruguay beat Cape Verde, and no, that doesn't work. Let's say. Oh no, it's not, it doesn't really work with this group. Let's imagine, right? No, it doesn't really work. Let's imagine Spain have 6 points going into the last game and Cape Verde have 3. If Cape Verde win their last game and Spain lose, they'd both finish on 6. But Spain, in the new format, have already finished top because Cape Verde can only level with Spain, but Spain have already beat Cape Verde, but they didn't. So it's a crap example. My point is, some of the groups have already been decided because, like, Germany are already through as group winners because the only other team that can get 6 points is Ivory Coast and they beat them. So in a head-to-head battle, Germany win that. The old format would be Ivory Coast could still go past Germany if they batter the final team and get a better goal difference. So I think it's fairer because in a head-to-head, you've beaten that team, so why should they finish above you just because of goal difference? The problem with it is it does make some of the third group games redundant because there's not as much jeopardy. There'll be some jeopardy on who finishes second and third, but there won't be on who finishes top. Like Mexico are already top of their group, USA are top of their group, Germany are top of their group, and that won't change in game 3. But I do think it is the right thing to do, is the short answer. Because imagine like England, we beat Ghana, Croatia beat Panama, we play the reserves against Panama and lose, and then Croatia beat Ghana, they get 6 points, we've got 6 points, but they go above us on goal difference, but we beat them. So I do think the 30 thing's right. User, I think you're right with this. User says the exact halfway point of this tournament mark is on June the 30th at the Aztec Stadium, round of 32. I think you're right there. Prediction for Argentina, Austria tomorrow. I think Argentina probably win it, but I tell you what, Austria are a good side. It's a shame Bumgarner's injured because they don't have a lot of depth, but I think that's going to be a good game of football because Austria do play football in the right way. It's Rangnick ball, isn't it? They do play football in the right way, and looking at the team he picked for the for that game, very well organised, very good passers. I think they'll give a good account of themselves. Another hydration break here. I feel like we've already had a hydration break. But I'd say Argentina will win it. Yeah. Fearfam Ollie says, is your United Stand news show about Steve Holland wanting Calvin Phillips and Belabor? I wouldn't put it past him, but no. What do you think about Netherlands' chances? I have Iran and Netherlands as my sweepstakes, is Bailey. Look, I don't think the Netherlands will win it. I think it's great to dream early on. However, I would say that if the Netherlands hit the semis, that would be a good result for them. I'm just laughing at the BBC's Aspilicueta in the bottom corner because it's just reminding me of our Bundesliga watch-alongs when we normally have me in the corner. That's literally what we do for our Bundesliga watch-along. We have the game on and then I'm in a little box in the corner. Rio Tomo asking about Italy as well. Who's done that one from Toby? Ross, I've not looked at your email yet. I will do though. Canada, Switzerland can play for the chance to be home in round 32, says Sri. 2010 World Cup was a vibe in South Africa, says Merca. And AMC says, if 1990 was your first World Cup, then this is your 10th, which is crazy. One and Only says, you stumble upon a hidden treasure that changes your life forever, but you have to choose a curse. Sneeze every 5 minutes or go to the men's every 5 minutes. Oh, God. That would, well, your hidden treasure is going to end up being a curse that's going to play with your mental health. If you had to sneeze every 5 minutes for the rest of your life or go to the toilet every 5 minutes for the rest of your life, that is going to fuck you up mentally, mate. So your hidden treasure's not worth it. Because your hidden treasure comes at the price of a curse that's going to ruin you. You wouldn't get any sleep, pal. You've not thought it through. Rajaf says, as a United fan, I presume you prefer Ronaldo because of loyalty. Also, I think the hate is disgusting. But do you think the team have made Ronnie good chances? I think, you know what though, Rajaf? I love Ronaldo and it is about United. But honestly, when I watch him in the last Euros and in this World Cup, it's bloody difficult if you're a creative player to find chances for him because you can't play it in behind. He ain't quick enough. You can't play it into feet. His hold-up play has never been about that. So you've basically got to work crosses into the box. And teams don't tend to do that as much as they used to do from open play. So it's not as simple as they're not creating chances for him because he's not the easiest player to create chances for. And whose fault's that? That's not Bruno's fault. Rowan and United 92, thanks for your follows on TikTok. Adrian says he's got Japan and Germany for sweepstakes. Are they good? I think they're outsiders. I think they're good to have. I think one of them could go quarterfinals, semi-finals. So here's a question for the chat, says Kristen. How many miles has Infantino travelled for the 10 games he has attended this World Cup? It will be a lot. Dan says, hi Mark, I know it's nothing about the World Cup, but it's looking likely Spurs are going to sign Mateus Fernandes. I'm getting sick of United not pushing for signings. Well, I don't think anything's changed, Dan, from what I've heard. So I don't think it's over yet. Thesp says, thanks for turning up, Saudi Arabia. Antec says, what's your opinion on third place teams getting through? Well, it's funny because AMC said that this is my 10th World Cup. In Italia 90, Ireland and England and the Netherlands all went through from the group. So I haven't got, so three from four went through. So it's not a new thing to have third place teams going through. It's always been a thing. So I haven't got a problem with third place teams going through. It's not some new FIFA rule that's come out. So that I don't have a problem with it. There's 48 teams in this World Cup. And there's 12 groups. 32 go through. So 48 minus 12 is 36. So 8 third place teams will go through and 4 won't. That might be a little bit too much, but you have got to get up to 32, haven't you? There's slightly more third place teams going through than usual because in a 32 team World Cup you go down to 16 with 8 groups of 4. So 32 minus 8 is 24. No, that can't be right. How did they used to do it in a 32 World Cup then? 32 teams, 8 groups of 4. It wasn't just the top 2 went through, was it? Third place teams did go through. Or was it just the top 2? Maybe it was in the old format, just the top 2 went through. It was just the top 2. Okay, I didn't realise that one. Yeah, they definitely. Oh, I know what it was. We used to have a World Cup with 24 teams in it. I think Italia 90 was 24 teams with 6 groups of 4. So obviously the top 2 went through, and there was 4 third place teams that went through as well. In short, I don't mind third place teams going through. Becky says, this is my 11th World Cup. Mexico 86 was my first. And Mish says, what if a top team struggled in the first 2 games but woke up in the third and scraped through the group stages, then went on to win the whole thing? This rule would stop them from happening. It would. Bergvall leaving Spurs. Do you think he'll stay in the Premier League, says Tyler? I mean, it's interesting that he wants to leave Spurs. I presume he wants to leave Spurs and De Zerbi doesn't want him. Infantino has travelled 13,489 miles. I tell you what, Micah Richards has travelled further than that. I mean, he's in Salford on the BBC, then he's in New York on Rest is Football, then he's back in Salford. So, who's travelled more miles, Micah Richards or Infantino? Johnny says, I'd love him at Liverpool, Bergvall. I'd love him at United. I think he's a really good player. Bit unlucky with some injuries. And Sam says, Portugal won the Euros from third place in 2016. Do you think Spain will win it all? Spain are very effective. It's too early to say they'll win it all. They're a very good team. And they're capable of winning this tournament. However, at this stage, I don't think it's possible to say that they're better than France or Argentina or England or anybody else. So, early days. Peter Dawson, thank you very much for your follow, and Jack Broom as well. Green Cowboy. So 12 minutes to go here. I think these are the sort of games where you, if I'm being honest, start to think we need the knockout stage. It's the sort of game I would happily have watched if it was game 1. But game 2, it's a little bit group stage fatigue for me. Look, there's a lot of games in this World Cup. Not all of them can be great. As I say, I think Norway, Senegal will be good. I think Argentina, Austria could be good. There's Ferran Torres. But I'd say, luckily, apart from Germany, Curacao, these were the games that people were worried about this World Cup. That we'd get a lot of these types of games where the powerhouses destroy these small nations. And we haven't had that many of them, so I think that's a positive. We're always going to get some. Just realised actually we've had our I need to just check this actually. We've had our what's the record for clean sheets in a World Cup? So the Qatar World Cup has provided its fair share. In Qatar, there were 4 0-0 games before even the first round of group games were over. And the record number of 0-0 draws at a World Cup is 7. The tally was reached in 82, 2006, 2010, 2014 and 2022. So we've had 2 already here. This World Cup should break it because it's got more games than any other World Cup that's ever happened. But we've had 2 already. Oh, nearly a goal there. Would have been another OG. Do Ghana have the potential to cause an upset against England? I don't think they will. Oishin says, already, we're 37 games in. Yeah, I knew I'd phase that badly as soon as I said it. Two clean sheets is not many considering how many games we've had. But we could still break 7 because of the volume of games we've got in this World Cup. And Oracle says the Golden Boot's going to go to the best team that plays the worst opponents. Well, you say that, but... you know, Messi got 3 against Algeria. They're not a World Cup minnow. Kane got 2 against Croatia. So that, you know, hopefully that won't be the case. I'd hate someone to win the Golden Boot and go, yeah, they scored 6 goals against Haiti or something like that. I think England will beat Ghana. Yeah, hopefully we'll play well, but I think we'll beat them. Bossman says, what games are you watching today? This is the only watch-along I'm doing today. I will have Belgium-Iran on United Stand at 8 o'clock, but I'm not doing any more watch-alongs today. I just have got no interest in Uruguay against Cape Verde at 11 o'clock. Absolutely none. I looked at it and went, no. I'm not saying I won't be interested in watching Uruguay again in the tournament, but they can earn it. But tomorrow we're doing 3. France, Iraq, Argentina, Austria, and Norway, Senegal. Looking forward to that. As I said, I'm just going to be selective about... I love the World Cup, but I don't want to get World Cup fatigue. Thoughts on pundits shitting on Ronaldo this World Cup, says Vishu. I think a lot of pundits don't like Ronaldo. You know, if you look at Lineker, he lives up the arse of Messi, doesn't he? Probably because he played for Barcelona. But he's not the only one. Henry says, start, bench, sell holidays. Skegness, Bradford or Grimsby. Never been to Bradford on holiday. Never been to Grimsby on holiday. I have been to Skegness a few times. Many years ago. I used to love it as a kid. So I'm not going to knock it. Bran says, please don't disturb me. I'm having a nap. I'll be honest. This to me has been a bit of a low point for this World Cup. It's been, and I blame Saudi. Like, they've not been competitive at all. They should be better than this. They're not, like I say, World Cup minnows. They're quite an established World Cup team. They beat Argentina in the last tournament. And they've been very, very poor. $85 minutes. I'm not going to get me Pedri goal. I'm not going to get me yellow card for Rodri, am I? But we are going to get a Spain win. You know, it's going to be 37 degrees in the UK this week. We're just not set up for it, bro. It's going to be hot. Our houses in the UK are built to keep the heat in. That's not good in the summer. So yeah, we've got 29 degrees tomorrow, 33 degrees on Tuesday, 37 degrees on Wednesday, and then 35 degrees on Thursday, 29 degrees on Friday. It's going to be hot. Saudi player's gone down injured. Ollie, thanks for your follow on TikTok. Appreciate you. Thanks everyone who subscribed on YouTube as well. On the road to 1.5 million. A bit of a head injury here. $8 o'clock on United stand, yeah. Yeah. And we have got some interesting news that no one's really spoken about today to talk about as well. And it's nothing to do with Fernandez, which is refreshing. You don't win friends with salad. You don't win friends with salad. Well, the Saudi Arabian fans are enjoying themselves. Obviously, they've still got a chance of going through in third place if they beat Cape Verde. I mean, Cape Verde could beat the Saudis, couldn't they? I think Cape Verde got a little bit of disrespect, if I'm being honest, because that draw with Spain was like, oh my God, the underdogs have won a game of football. Right, but they did come through the AFCON. Sorry, not the AFCON. The African qualifiers, and that's not an easy thing to do. So they must be quite decent. D. Finley says, I got an air conditioning unit for £160 in Screwfix, game changer. Yeah, but don't you have to open your window to put the bloody pipe out? Sort of defeats the purpose, I think. I suppose it doesn't defeat the purpose at all, does it? What's your thoughts on... I don't know who this is, Steg. I'm just going to have to search it first because it could be one of those names where you're just trying to say something funny. Oh, me toe. It just keeps throbbing. It really does hurt. No, it does. What are your thoughts on Caleb Yerenki, who plays for Ghana? I haven't really seen anything of him, really. Steg says he looks the top talent. If United need more experience, I'd fancy getting him. He's only 20. He's not got that much experience. Who was the top scorer in 94? Not one of the stars, says Jesper. I feel like I should know that. Top scorer in the World Cup in 94. Wasn't it a German? Was it like Yarmolenko or something like that? Sorry, a Russian. I looked to the chat to see if anybody knows it. I feel it was a Russian. I don't know what. That's just your brain kicking in and giving you information. It wasn't Yarmolenko because he plays now, but I think it was a Russian. Top scorer. US 94. It was shared. Oleg Selenko and Hristo Stoichkov got 6 goals. Romario, Baggio, Klinsmann and Anderson got 5. Batistuta, Radichau and Darlin got 4. Bebeto, Bergkamp, Hadji got 3. And then we're down to 2. Oh, also Caminero and Brolin got 3. I tell you what, fucking hell. Sweden did well in that World Cup. Brolin got 3. Darlin got 4. And Kenneth Anderson got 5. I think goal. It might be offside. Torres, although it has been given. Linesman saying I'm not sure. He's waiting to see. Sweden got to the semi-finals, Mark. Yes, they lost 1-0. I mean, Sweden had a bloody brilliant tournament. Got to the semi-final of the World Cup. Played Brazil in '94 in front of 91,000 people at the Rose Bowl. I think he's offside, you know. It's hard to tell from that angle, but I think Torres might be offside here. Yeah, Sweden got to the semi-final where they lost to Brazil 1-0 in the 80th minute thanks to Romario. And Bulgaria got to the semi-final as well, losing 2-1 to Italy. Look at those quarterfinals. Italy beat Spain 2-1. Brazil beat the Netherlands 3-2. Bulgaria beat Germany 2-1. And Romania and Sweden went to penalties. Oh, that's a very tight set of quarterfinals, isn't it? And not hardly any of these stadiums are. Stanford Stadium in Stanford, is that still there? College football. Giant Stadium, not there anymore. Cotton Bowl, Dallas. Foxborough Stadium still going yet. We've used that, haven't we? Soldier Field is Chicago, isn't it? Apparently there's a lot of stadiums that haven't been used in this tournament that are really good. There's still VAR checking this. Probably the longest VAR check we've had in ages. Thank you very much for your super chats. Thanks for the follow, Arm and NBDY as well. It was Stoichkov and Oleg who were the top scorers then in that tournament. Thank you. Yeah, I'm back on the United Stand at 8 o'clock. And then our next watch along is tomorrow night at 6 p.m, which is Argentina. Argentina. Will Messi score again? Golden Boot favourites at the moment. VAR must have fell asleep, Mark, says Lurker. Yeah. And it has been called offside. I'm surprised that VAR took so long on that. It must have been very close because I thought that looked offside. Bergvall used to follow me on Instagram, Lee, so definitely a United fan. Before he went to Spurs, he used to follow me on Instagram. When he signed for Spurs, he stopped following me. So Bergvall's definitely a United fan. Rose Bowl would have been nice. Yeah, I've spoken about the Rose Bowl before. It's a college stadium now, isn't it? Oh, Romario was a brilliant player. Early 90s, Barcelona, Brazil, yeah. AW says the biggest stadiums in the US are actually they have huge capacities, but they're no frills and also in the middle of nowhere. I'm very happy with the stadiums that have been used in the World Cup. Very happy, and I'm very happy that they've had like Mexico and Canada as well. I've loved having those stadiums, the Azteca especially. Denise says, imagine if he starts following you again. I'd be very happy with Bergvall. He's one of those players that I understand why a lot of people don't want him, but he's always been a player that I like. Someone said Ronaldinho's coming out of retirement. Well, he shouldn't do. He's never coming back, is he? Not to the levels he was. Yeah, it's been a tough one. This. Not gonna lie. Maybe Sunday on the World Cup's not that great, although the final isn't on a Sunday. Next Sunday, there's only one game. One round of 32 game and no early hours game. There's 8 o'clock next Sunday. There's only one game, and it's a last 32 game. That's it. There's not a 1 a.m. There's not an 11 p.m. Not a 4 a.m. Not a 5 a.m. It's almost like a mid-tournament break, but we'll have one game. Thank you so much to Boyle Sports, by the way, for sponsoring the stream. Remember, you can build your own bet builders on that across the tournament. If you do, make sure you bet with your head, not with your heart. 18 plus only, new UK and Ireland customers. Terms and conditions are in the description and on the screen. Please bet responsibly, be gamble aware. 6 minutes added on. We are in the 97th minute, but obviously we had a long VAR check. Do you think we'll get more 0-0s? I think the chances, I mean, I will say it, I've got time. The reason we're not getting so many 0-0s and the chances of us getting 0-0s are quite minuscule is because the ball is in play so much and the game is flowing so quickly. The Bundesliga has more goals than most European leagues, and that goes hand in hand with the officiating keeping the game flowing. So we shouldn't get many 0-0s because the officiating is keeping the game flowing. You're more likely to get 0-0s if, you know, you can roll around and get a free kick, waste time, take time on corners and throw-ins. It won't have an impact on draws, but it should have an impact on 0-0s. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Thanks for the follow, everybody on TikTok, like John and Trumpet and Jack. Really appreciate you. Thanks everyone who subscribed on YouTube as well. Not the best game. I'm never not going to be honest. I think that was a bit of a waste of time because Saudi Arabia was so poor. Very easy game for Spain, and you know, probably one of the most straightforward games we've had in the tournament so far. Thank you as ever for tuning in. I will have Belgium-Iran on my telly at 8 o'clock, but I'm live on the United Stand with some big updates around the midfield. So we'll tune in for that. Yahil says, why are you going to do France-Iraq? for the same reason I did Spain. You know, Spain are a big nation. I want to watch them and see how they're doing. Of course, France, Iraq could be another battering, but I'm not going to do anything else at 10 o'clock on a Monday, so I think I will watch that. Anyway, I will see you at 8 o'clock on the United Stand. Our next watch-along, though, is Argentina-Austria at 6 tomorrow night. Take care. Stay safe. I'll speak to you on in a bit.